Against this right back, Charlie.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Like the man said right there, people deluded, I'm back again. Third show now. You already know the story. It's DG and Fabrice Muamba. What you saying, my guy? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How you feeling today? You must be very happy.
This Monday with a spring in my step, but that's almost every weekend now, man. You know what my team does.
Is that what you're saying? Almost every weekend, yeah.
Great weekend, man. You know, nothing too special. Just Trossard putting on the clinic, man. Before we get into the game, though, I have to say an apology to everybody from 12 days ago. Obviously, we didn't do the show last week. They asked you a bag of questions. I can't keep violating them. So let's kick it off with just you answering their questions, man. It's all specifically for you as well. So at the bottom, it says J Billions, past players that could play in today's game and vice versa.
Pires, easy. Robert Pires, easy.
Why?
Pires has the knowledge of playing football. With Robert, he's more like he's a thinker. He's always thinking a step ahead, so he doesn't have to take too much touch of the ball. His movement is great. Post scores any day of the week. My man walk into any team. Big saw just to be able to defend. You know. I mean, there's a lot of guys who feel. I think Gerrard will still play now.
Give us an unconventional name, man. One that people might think, might take by surprise. One that you might only know if you, like yourself, you was training with him. You them things.
Edu.
Do you know what? He'd be good in our squad still. I can't lie.
I'll tell you this, yeah. People don't realize how good this guy was.
Yeah, because he was with them. You know what he was had in front of him, man.
You know who was in front of him, but when you play with him, you're thinking, "Wow, this guy is very good. He's up there, proper up there." So yeah.
Does it shock you that he's gone into like technical director and like the avenue he's doing post career, Edu?
No, I don't think so. I feel like as a player, you always have opportunity, you know. And I think when you find your niche and you know you build your connection, your contact, then you might as well stick into it. Just like
True.
What's his name? Flamini. Wow, my man is on some different thing.
He's on something different, bro. Money, man.
I'm saying if you told me that guy was moving to that kind of brick, I'd be like, brother, bring me in. You know what I'm saying? I said, like no footballer is in that level right now.
Yeah, he's a madman. He's doing crazy things.
Yeah, he's saying he's making more money now than he was playing. Can you imagine that, bro?
And he was at Arsenal as well. It wasn't like he's at Liverpool club as well.
So, you know,
that's a shout still.
No, you said you got to look at it like that. You got to look at it. But I mean, overall, I thought the weekend was brilliant. Just the level. But I also did what I didn't like. The level of inconsistency from the referee. That was a killer.
What do you mean by that, man? Because I'm a broken record at this point, bro.
The game, the Chelsea-Leicester game, they should have been sent off, but it wasn't. The Man United game should be a yellow card. He give it. You're lying.
You think that? I know you was a tough tackler, but you think that weren't a red? I thought it was a yellow first time, but with the replay, the ball kind of rolls, but it's looking mad, bro.
Dude, that mean you can't tackle anybody then?
Well, that's maybe why I'm attacking fullback still.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't tackle anybody. If you're saying that was a red card I'm sure if we go through the weekend, some of the video, you're like, you can't make him. It doesn't make any sense. You know
It
what
looks
I'm
like
saying?
his foot kind of rolls onto the ball. He's kind of gone with the weak, like an unconventional foot, and it's kind of rolled up sort of thing. But I can see why. But the thing is with VAR, they show you different angles, fast motion, slow motion, so it starts clouding your judgment.
But then the question is, was it intentional? Was it really like wanting to get after the guy's leg?
No, I don't think. You could see Casemiro was sympathetic and things like that. But then you could sit there and say, just because a man didn't mean to do it, does that make it any different? Like it weren't intentional. I have to play devil's advocate.
Listen, we can be at it tomorrow, bro. I tell you that now, because I think the level of inconsistency was a bit there. But all in all, I think it was a great weekend of Premier League football. A lot of
Would you make
play.
a Man United in the title race then? I know you was an advocate of they're not out of it.
No, you know what? Yeah, the game against Liverpool, yeah, that's a fluke, you know.
Yeah, they got smoked, man. It's not
against Liverpool. That's a fluke, bro. How can you beat Liverpool beat you 7-0? Liverpool go to and go to Bournemouth, put that performance.
Yeah. It shows why the Premier League's the best league in the world. It's just a madness, really. You just don't know what's gonna happen.
Make sure in Madrid they get tongued, bro. Like it or not, that's a guaranteed fact.
Fact.
So you almost look like, well, that as much as Liverpool won, yes, it was great. But if Man United score some of the opportunity they scored before even Liverpool,
different game, innit?
Would have been a different ball game. Do you know what I mean? So listen, Liverpool just all over the place at the moment. It's a reset button for the end of the season. That's it.
How many signings do you think they need?
6, 7.
Where?
Fullback, striker, midfielder.
Oh, striker. Why'd you say striker?
Because you can't rely on those two guys.
What, Nunes and Gakpo?
Gakpo is good, but Gakpo's he's a good player, especially that finish against Man. That's a very good
Henry-esque. I'm wary of saying that, but Henry-esque.
He's a good player, but then Gakpo don't give you that every single week.
Yeah. That's true.
You know what I mean? So, more, yes, but more also is getting a little bit. It's not like the Mo Salah of 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That's true. Still banging them in, but naturally he's declining a bit as a footballer now and all of that.
So as we don't want to sound harsh, but you're saying, it's very much of like it's a reset. And then I think, listen, I like Trent, but my God.
He used to play in your position and he went to fullback, man. He's not on defending.
Bruv, like, as much as the guy is so unreal on the ball, but defensively, you know what?
He's a liability.
This is the sign where you feel like, you know what, I need to fix up my game, When a manager, he's taking off you a fullback who's 21 or 23 years old, and bringing somebody who's 38 and 39 in your position, bruv, that is like, I need to start looking at myself.
Away from home as well. That tells you he doesn't really trust you in that aspect.
Like, if you're saying, if you're bringing James Milner, who's 30 odd a bit, and you're taking somebody who's supposed to be younger, fitter, quicker, more aware, you're like, where's this going?
Let me ask you a question then with Trent. Obviously, I agree with you defensively. I do think people overdo it with him defensively, but I think that's where his glaring mistakes are. Obviously, Trent's been on the scene for a while now. If you're a manager or whatever, or maybe even a teammate of his, do you accept what Trent is? Do you accept that he's a bit of a liability defensively, but for what he gives you going forward? Or do you persist with trying to make him a bit more all-rounded?
I mean, you as a player, you have to look at yourself and say, what is what is my strength? Trent, we know that he's very good on the ball. Okay, his passing range is probably one of the best in the league. Okay, defensively, he's not good. So why not get somebody who played in that position, ex-Liverpool player, sit down with him? Because there's nothing wrong is asking for help. There's nothing wrong asking for help. I say, like, coming in and say, listen, if you're playing against, you always have to remember this, If you watch Ashley Cole, this is the best example I'll give you. If you watch Ashley Cole, whenever Ashley Cole playing against somebody who's tricky, the first thing Ashley Cole do when the person had the ball, he goes for that person.
You get tight, clamp them, let them know you're there.
So the man, he knows this is what time it is. I'm not here to move around. So he knows if you're gonna do that trick, that's it. But those people, when they get the ball, almost like they want people to do trick on them, thinking
they just back out and back out and back out and back out. Yeah. That's the modern game. I feel now with the
no. When you know what it's like when you're playing against who's the winger for Man United? No, the guy from Brazil. Is it Anthony?
Yes, Anthony, isn't it? The Brazilian.
Wow.
Yeah. The one with all the party tricks. Anthony.
The moment he has a ball, yeah, wow, you see him in the stand. I'm telling you that now. It's not even, we're not even discussing that. He knows, but the moment he's touched that ball, yeah, I'm not even looking at him. I'm just going after him. And from there, he knows that, you know what,
You can't embarrass me, innit?
No, you can't. So, and I think with Trent, yes, I understand like what they're all playing the England team, they're all good friends, which is great. But you have to have something about you, about, you know, bang, let them know, you know, and wow, he's got that Brazilian guy on Tuesday or Wednesday, Vinicius Jr. And that guy bring all type of smoke.
Yeah. It's not nice at all. He's on all sorts of violence. If you feel sorry for yourself, boy, it's long in the Champions League. There's no hiding place.
He will take you, like Beyonce said, to the left, bro. You're going. If you're not ready for you, are moving to that section. Wow, listen.
How do you defend against that though? Because like obviously, like he's a skillers, isn't it? Like he's not really. You can tackle him and intimidate him and win some of the battles, but he's always gonna rip you. How do you defend against that then as a player? Is it one where you just let him kind of do his thing and guard against that? Because it's not everyone you can just have your way with. Some players you kind of have to respect it.
No, but what I'm trying to say to you, if you play against somebody who's quicker than you, what you tend to do is you give yourself drop off. You give yourself extra. So you know what? If I know you're quicker than me, come beat me then. So I know if you're gonna run the race, the closer you get to me, that's when I clamp you. Okay. Or I'm just gonna go bang straight first time, bang every single time. But bear that in mind, this brother is always got all type of tricks in his bag. So you really have to be on your A game. People like
choice, innit? Yeah.
You know, people like him, people like what's his name? You know, Benzema. As much as they don't look as quick, but them man are on it. They've been on it.
They just need 2 seconds with this upstairs and it's done.
You know, so I'll be very surprised if he starts Trent against Real Madrid.
Did you watch the Newcastle highlights or the game?
Yes. Yeah.
What'd you make of the Nick Pope thing? Because I can't lie, I've seen Reds given for less. I don't like, because you mentioned inconsistencies, bro.
There you go. There you go. You said everything. You said it. The level of inconsistency in the Premier League is ridiculous. You can't let that go and give that, like that's a straight red card.
Why do you think he weren't given though?
He didn't even look at the ball. He didn't even look at the ball. He just literally looked at it.
He's fucked really, and he
there
needs
you go.
Make that challenge.
You know, as I said, even Ten Hag said it. He said like the level of inconsistency in the Premier League. That's what's killing the beauty of our game. Referee need to be. Everybody should be singing the same hymn and playing the same way. But
do you think that ever happened?
Wow,
I think they want it to be like this. Me and you waffling about it, other people talking about it, the media talking about it. I think that adds to the entertainment package sort of thing. I don't think they want consistency or the right decisions. Personally,
I feel like if you criticize them, you're in trouble. Especially if you're ex-referee or ex-player, you're in trouble. It's almost like you can't criticize them. You know,
why do you think that is?
But they control everything. They don't want to make them look bad. You know, the game is the game has a way of playing, but everybody needs to be able to see it for what it is. You know, it's one of those things where like referee need to take accountability. You know, it would be nice, yeah. You're like, you know, after the game where manager coming in, speak the mind after the game, where referee can come in and they can say, why? Give us at least a minute of your time to explain us why this decision. That way we have more respect for you, because now you can make that decision and hide behind the scene. Nobody will answer you that question.
Players get fines and that if they try to criticize you, things like that, which is it's not really right, really and truly. Everyone gets criticized, from the managers to the players to even fans. You ask a question of the referee and you're in issues. Do you think ex-players should be doing refereeing a bit more? Big games and all them things there, you know, they've been there, they've lived it.
I mean, people want to do it, but it's boiled down to fitness and all about the $1 billion, innit?
He said refereeing don't pay as much as media work and all them things.
Nah, listen, it's great, but I feel like people be like, I want to do it, but show me the mullah, innit?
Fair, that's a real reply still. That's a real reply. Who's your current favourite Arsenal player? The next question.
Martin Odegaard.
Great chase. If there's no Martin Odegaard.
Saka.
You say I thought you were snaking Saka. I was about to say that's what I was about to say. We got to
I can't
spread
do
some
that.
propaganda, man.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, I can't do
Any
that.
any funny stories during your playing career? Says Ahmed.
Ooh, I mean, when I first moved to Birmingham and we went on loan, there was myself and Nicholas Benna, and we halfway through the season we had Andy Cole came on loan, like an emergency loan, and he came in. And Nicholas tried to hype up with Andy.
I've heard this. That's a big myth.
Mama get up. Say, listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, don't try to do that again. The rest of your life, or bad job here, then. I was like, wow, because from the way people look at Andy, they look at him as very quiet. This guy doesn't.
They're the most dangerous brothers, man.
You press that button, you find that in there. You press that button, then you find that. Seriously.
You get dealt with. All right, next one. From your playing days, what is one positive change or one negative change you've seen in the game?
Oh, I think after my accident, you see a lot of improvement regarding to medical stuff. That
Facts.
the access about the ambulance and the medical care, everybody getting a better treatment. More is done behind the scene in terms of people do CPR. So for me, that's been a very good change and a positive that may long continue, and which is just sent down all the way to the academy as well.
That's facts. What would you say is one negative then?
People become too pally.
What do you mean by that? I know what you mean, but to someone who doesn't actually know what you're referring to,
when you're playing a game, I don't need to be friendly with you.
Amen. Facts. I'm with you with that.
I know you're here to beat me. I'm here to beat you. So why are we in the corridor? Why do we need to be high-fiving? I understand the culture and how players live in the same area, blah, blah, blah. But it just becomes so too friendly.
It's almost like a charity match sometimes.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't want that. I just want to go, bruv. I don't like you. Not in a malicious way. Like, I don't. No,
You're with them. I'm with them.
Yeah.
I don't like you. We can have a drink and a handshake and that after the game. Two sportsmen, but for the 90 minutes, you're on the pagan side, isn't it? Really.
And then also, if I see you on holiday, bruv, I'm ghosting you. There's nothing wrong with that. Bruv, it's like that. But I just feel like everybody becomes so.
Why do you think it's like that then?
I don't know. It's just the way society is at the moment.
True.
And also a different generation of players.
True. Do you think that's made it better where England's concerned? Because obviously you had better players than we had now. The Gerrards, the Scholes, all of these guys. But Rio said what you used to say and say, oh, we weren't friends and that. Now it doesn't matter where you play for. Everyone's brethren, everyone's cool and whatnot. And they're doing quite well on paper.
No, I understand the part where, when you come to a national team, we all have to put our difference to a side and to get together. But if I'm playing against you and I'm trying to win the Premier League, but I'll do what I need to do to win the game. If that means me not talking to you the week before the game, that so be it, bruv.
Amen.
And you know what even hurt the most, yeah? If, for example, me and you playing against each other, yeah? And you won the league. And I go to Dubai, see you Dubai, and you wearing your medal, bro. You see how pissed I would be, bro.
Yeah, but vexed still. It's a constant reminder of an L to my name that I didn't win the league in that. Yeah, that's
right.
That's...
You're there with your boy. You're like, hey, Pat, Champa, Bob, you're there.
Do you feel it's down to social media? Like, because I think Mike's got onto the rest.
Oh yeah.
What do you make of the whole social media thing with footballers now?
Listen,
people
social media.
Saying sorry after every bad game and that.
Social media has a good and a negative side of it, but it's how you use it.
True.
If you're using it to promote negative or to use it for cloud chase or whatever, but you're not gonna gain anything. But you have to see it in a way that it's good to have social media. It's also a way that you can relate to fun. People need to see the different side of you, by just how you use it.
Element in that.
Yeah.
What do you make of like going onto social media? I feel like you could be 16 years of age, you could be talented, have all the potential in the world, but if there's a 30-second clip of you dancing past two players, scoring, people in your academy say you're the next one, you're a superstar. I think in today's day and age, it's all about potential. And you look at the transfer fees, it's never about actually doing it and being the guy. Now, what do you make of that?
I mean, that's the worry that you know. Yes, everybody wants to look like they're the next big thing, but social media can destroy you. You know, you can do, as you said, that 10-second clip, you doing madness. People go and say, "Wow, he's the next big thing," but I mean that put pressure on you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I expected to see that from you like every single week. You know, and I think sometimes clubs should also be mindful of what type of clip they put out there in terms of social media, because it could either hinder young players or can literally destroy their confidence. You know, so you've got to be very mindful of what you put out there, and as a person, also as a football club, because you can put up a training session where everybody's scoring goal. Come Saturday, none of you scoring. So what you put that
Then
stuff
everyone's
there,
like, well, gone for this then, yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's very much of like, just be aware of what you're putting out there.
I think it in heart. Do you know what? I'm like you. I feel, you know, especially if you're, you know, like us, you know, initially from London, humble beginnings, and suddenly everyone in the world is saying you're the next this, that, and the other. It can be overwhelming. And I agree with everything you said. But I also think it makes players, I don't know them as a person, but indirectly a bit selfish, because I follow a lot of these players and a couple of young players. I've seen someone put on Instagram, "Oh, we lost 5-1, but I got an assist though, played a good game." Like, bro, you lost, fam. Like, what are you doing? Like, I think it gets that, and I think a lot of players blow smoke up themselves because everybody's telling them they're the this, that, and the other. And I just feel this generation nowadays has entitlement issues, anyways. So let alone a professional footballer, a young professional footballer with, I don't know, 10,000 plus Instagram followers, and that. It's crazy.
I mean, nowadays it's easier to become a footballer than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to do much to be, you know. Probably all you have to do, you have to play. Especially if you're English, like 10 games in the Premier League, score 1 assist or 2 assists. Everybody's singing, "Wow, Gareth!"
You starting for match of the day and you're lit. Yeah.
You know, everybody, and that pressure, you don't wonder. Bro, I played 27 championship game. 27 championship game to get into England under 21 squad.
You see. That's the difference now. You don't have to do that now.
There you go. So it's a different generation, and also I feel like there's not many talent out there. Hence why.
What do you mean by that?
It's why the process is quicker. So if anything that we think is good, we just put them out there straight away. Because there's not many talent available like that.
I hear you on that. What do you mean by that? For someone that doesn't understand where you're going with that.
Oh, okay. If you look at the time where Rio and Beckham went playing for England, yeah. Okay. If I tell you the quality of the centre back that was then, yeah, listen to this: Ledley King, Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand, Jamie Carragher, what's his there? Southgate, Woodgate. Do you see? Are you hearing the type of defenders out there? Those are just two. All you have to do, pick 2 of those guys.
Then you've got a decent back line, really.
There you go.
Well, centre back pairing, but yeah.
Now, like, not disrespect to the guys they've got right now. Tarkowski, Maguire.
Yeah, it's peak.
What's his name? What's the brother? Man City. Stones. But
yeah, it's chopped off. I don't feel defending is the most important thing for a defender nowadays. It's how far can you ping a ball, which I get, but defending's gone. And like what we was talking about earlier with VAR, I feel the game's kind of changed. And plus, anytime you defend, the ball hits your arm, it's a penalty, tackles are red cards. So I just think defending is never going to become obsolete, but it's mad now. This is why you got defenders who don't want to defend.
It's a game of opinion now. It's a game of opinion. My opinion against your opinion. If my opinion seems like wherever we are, people give me a chance. You know? You know the guy from Man United, the defender, Martinez. Yeah,
Alessandro. Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't even given a chance for a kick to ball in this country.
As much as people don't give him, you don't forget about his height. If this guy was 6'4", he would be the best defender in the world. Like point blank, period.
His mentality is he's got that South American thing. He'll die to get a clean sheet and all them things.
And that man, when he passed the ball, he know where the ball's going. His awareness, his reading of the game is exceptional.
Very good defender.
Very good defender. But You reckon that man, if he was in England, anybody have a second look at him?
Yeah, he's not coming through. Unfortunately, he's not breaking through for an academy 100%. He's not breaking through because he would have been even shorter, probably 14, 15.
That would be the excuses. It's too short. It's not quick enough.
Like we didn't have Cannavaro over in Italy, showing what gone. Crazy.
I said it's a game of opinion.
It's a silly game of opinions and times, and I just feel in this country we're really behind. Last two questions before we get on to the talking about Arsenal versus Fulham. Favorite pastime since retirement, and could you also ask him his top 3 tunes to listen to before a match?
Oh, favorite pastime. I enjoy going on holiday a lot, man.
You get a lot of time to do that now. Footballer must be the myth.
It's a beautiful time, man. When I'm able to cut, just me and the family, we're just gone.
You owe it to them, man, and yourself.
Yeah,
man. You probably missed a lot doing the football thing.
Yeah, favorite tune. This probably surprise you. Roll deep when I'm here.
Yeah,
that's not true, man.
What, before a game?
Yeah, man. But
I thought you'd have been on some aggressive, proper aggressive thing, some 50 Cent thing or something.
Roll deep when I'm here, bro. I'm here, bro. The song says when I'm here, I'm here.
Taking music before games and that, or did you want silence and no one talking?
No, I just got my headphone. I'm just chill, like everybody's dead on their own world, but I'm just roll deep when I'm here, innit? Like we're here, we're about it, bro. So that
did surprise me. Still, that did surprise me. I didn't think you go for that one. Still,
roll deep when I'm here. I'm here.
Oh man. Last one before we move away from these questions. If you could go back in time to a youth player, what would you change footballing wise and business wise?
Business wise, I should know more about how to be an agent, to read more about my contract, just have a basic understanding what is like to deal with contract. Footballing wise is
it's a good question. It's really
I wish I could stay probably a year longer at Arsenal.
Why?
Because there was people more giving more opportunity when I left. Then I was better than them, in my opinion.
Can we get a name?
I don't want to be putting people out there like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying on my A game, yeah, I make people run any day of the week. So I'm just saying, if I was patient enough, I'll probably be giving more opportunity back. Because once you had that loan system, you played every single week in the championship.
It's tough
and to come back here and to say I can't guarantee to be on the bench, you're like, nah.
Sounding a bit mad, didn't it? I want to play football still.
When you got that taste of playing week in, week out, you're like, nah, I'm not waiting around.
Couple questions as well, because I've just seen actually there actually is 2 more now. Most underrated player at Arsenal this season?
Granit Xhaka. I just think Granit has gone by his business.
But is he really underrated now? If everyone's rating this thing, what he's doing in that role?
360. That's a 360 the man done.
True. When you put it like that, true.
It's a 360, like from people wanting him out to what he is now. It's night and days.
I would say, do you know what? I'm gonna go someone different now. They're not really underrated, but I would say Partey, purely because when we've won 3-0, nobody really cares about Thomas Partey. But I think in that first half, absolutely amazing. And if he's not there, it's a madness. But then I also feel Benjamin White gets his plaudits, but you've got Benjamin, and I know Ramsdale could improve. I think Ramsdale. I'm trying to avoid the Odegaards, the Martinellis.
No, but with Partey,
Eddie, you know what? Eddie and Eddie,
I mean, with Partey, yeah, you saw from that first game against Man United, Old Trafford last year, you know what Partey was all about. Remember that game where Partey really
regulating?
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is what Partey is all about. But as I said, his injury now and again, in and out of the team, all that kind of stuff. But I think with Granit Xhaka has been unbelievable.
Been different, great gravy. I can't lie.
Unbelievable.
Gabriel could be a shout. That could be a shout, Gabriel. I don't think he gets his plaudits. I feel when Saliba makes a mistake, not that I advocate for this, but when Saliba makes it's like having 2 children. It's like, this is your A child who can do no wrong. This is the somewhat black sheep of the family. When Saliba makes a mistake, it's arm around him. When Gabriel, everyone wants to sing it from the rooftops. I know Gabriel needs to cut out those moments, but I think Gabriel's really been good this year for us, man.
You know, shout out to Gabriel, the doctor though, with the hair transplant. You need to come for that number here.
Hey, Holding gave him the hookup, man.
Bruv, you need to come and see man out here, you know, because boy Moses passed through out here a long time ago.
This guy, man.
Yeah,
This guy, man.
you need to come with that number out here, you know.
This guy's funny.
Let man know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, what's the most important thing that Arsenal need to do to win the Europa and Premier League?
I'm not even interested in Europa League, bro. 11
Swear.
games to go. 11 cup final to play. Game at a time. One game at a time. 11 cup final to play. International week in a week or so. Yeah.
After Palace, I swear.
After
After this week, then it's chilling off for a bit.
You give people, they come in training Monday, Tuesday. Give them a whole weekend off. Thursday, Friday. Don't come to 10. Come back in next week and we start building up again. Don't even, if you go on a holiday, just make sure you're somewhere safe. Don't go mixing business. So I'm gonna go skiing. No. Even if it mean confiscate everybody's passport, bro. It's just there in the country. So be it.
I'm on that though. Do you think actually now they're onto that? I meant to ask you, do you think the international break can be a blessing or a curse for Arsenal? Because obviously on one hand we're riding the momentum, but on the other hand, as you said, you give people a rest, people are fatigued, people come back from injury, you hope Partey, nothing happens for him for Ghana. Do you like where are you at with that? Do you think it's the best time or the worst time for that sort of international break business?
I mean, it's all depend, especially like the teams that are fighting relegation right now. Yeah, you want your team, your player to go away. Maybe to go away, different scenery would be good for them. But if you're like Arsenal, where everything is going really well at the moment, am I prepared to send the boys away, knowing that there's a possibility injury, all that kind of stuff? I'll be very much of, and you'll be worried a little bit because you're like, the squad is not big enough to risk it like that in the Premier League. So even if you're throwing out that fake injury, so be it.
I was just about to ask you for that. Is that a frequent thing in football?
Yeah, people pull that last minute. Yeah, the squad has been named on Thursday. Comes Saturday after evening. Yeah, my groin is tight. I can't be able to travel. Yeah, forget it. Yeah,
hell, man. What have you? Well, I guess you not without naming names. But have you got any experiences of people doing that where they probably told you that I'm actually fit, I just can't bother. The manager's a dickhead, or I don't feel like
you have to ask yourself a question. How can you play on Saturday and on Sunday you said I can't travel because my groin is tired, and the following week there's no game. The following week all of a sudden the groin is here. You start playing again, play 90 minutes. Does that make sense to you?
Nah, they're trying to do the holiday thing or just be with their family, or they're just not trying to play football. And I guess the groin injuries and things, I know they got doctors, but it's kind of difficult to tell if you're really lying or telling the truth, innit? Really.
And also, like, you're not coming in. You can be just a note or an email from your club doctor to the national team doctor.
I hope Arteta's saying that to Partey, man. Partey especially, big up the Ghanaians, shout out Ghana, but you don't need to play for Ghana in whatever international breaks because you always come back with something.
Listen, if that game international break has a meaningful behind in terms of World Cup qualification or anything like that, then I can understand. Bro. If it's just a normal friendly, relax, man. Stay at home.
I think that's what, if it is, like you said, if it's a World Cup or African Cup of Nations, do your thing in it. It's national team. But if it's just a friendly, just trying to make some money and get some bums in seats in the stadiums, Partey, you don't need to do that. You don't, because it always happens with us, bro. Players come back from international break on injury, slightly even Saka, man. You know, I think we've indirectly done that with Brazil because I think Brazil recently named their international side. There's no Gabriel, not that he went to the World Cup. There's obviously no Jesus and there's no Martinelli. That's what we need to do with everyone, man. The players who aren't playing, go play, innit? But the key man, them, stay at the club, man.
I said, listen, nothing wrong going, but just saying, is it really important? Is it really worth for you to travel all the way down there to play?
Nah, fuck that, man. They're not going, man. Like, if you're going, don't play. But nah, no one needs to. Like you said, you've aroused my imagination with that whole don't let them get their passports away and stuff like that, man. Keep them locked on under the lights at London Coley, man. Really and
yeah,
true.
man. The favourites can go to Eurostar to France, innit? What, an hour and 40 minutes a day?
Yeah, man, that's calm. That's calm. Not South America and this place and that place and this. Because I don't even think there's anything wrong with going and play for your country. Something always happens to these players. And I don't want us to see the landscape change because, as you know, with 11 games to go, the margins for error are getting smaller. How do you actually feel with 11 games to go now? Like, 11 games to go. It's not in our hands, but it's in our hands. It's
like every game is a cup final. There's a pressure there of performing well. There's a pressure there not to consider a goal. There's a pressure there if Arsenal start, say, okay, Arsenal come up from international week, they will play at 12:45. There's a pressure there to perform and win the game. If Man City play at 12:45, Man City win, and Arsenal play at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, there's huge. That's a different type of pressure.
Facts.
So it's like you have to weigh all this stuff. You really have to think about that. Okay, they have to get it right here. So in terms of that, it's just about this is where you need the Zinchenko of this world, where he's been there, done that. Gabriel Jesus, where they've done it with Man City, where just calm people down. The experience, Jorginho, calm people down. Say, listen, take a game at a time. We play our way. We control the tempo. This is what you expect from senior players.
Do you think it's a blessing or a curse that, in comparison to City, we're inexperienced? Because Pep's kind of been doing all that mind games. They're the favourites and things, and obviously we're the hunted. They're the hunters, and obviously Pep's team, as you kind of alluded to, 2 former City players, they've done it before. We haven't been here. Now, on one hand, I feel the naivety that we haven't been here, it can only serve us. But on the other hand, as you said, you need the Zinchenko's, the this guys, the that guys, and whatnot to just keep a cool head, not get too excited when you win. Don't think it's all over when you lose. I just feel generally, I always say, experience is overrated, but it can never be overstated. So where are you at with that?
I mean, Pep is using his mind game here, knowing that fully well that pen and paper Arsenal have been the best team in the country so far this season. Okay. And he's riding the fact that if Arsenal slipped up here, we're catching them. And he will do whatever he take to disturb Arsenal rhythm, or he's trying to play his mind game on Arteta. Credit to Arteta, he hasn't really right to anything negative against the club. We just say, you know what, we just take a game at a time.
He's seen it all working with Pep, innit? So maybe the mind games are dead because he's been there, he's doing it.
And I feel if Arsenal, if they just ride this long, especially next couple of fixture, you're good to go, man. You're good to go.
What do you make of the next few fixtures? Because I won't say they're favourable, because as you know, every game has to be won on its own merit. But obviously we've got Sport in Lisbon on Thursday. We'll touch on the Europa League in a sec. But focusing on the Premier League, our next 5 games: Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home.
Okay, stop. Crystal Palace. I expect Arsenal to beat Crystal Palace.
I'm scared, bro. Patrick Vieira. No. I'm shook. They ain't won this year. They had a shot on target.
There you go. I expect Arsenal to beat Crystal Palace. Who's next? Leeds. Fighting relegation. Yeah, Leeds to come to Emma, get peppered. No problem. Next.
Amen. Okay, it starts getting a bit techie now. Liverpool, 9th of April, away from home, 4:30.
You don't know which Liverpool turn up, bruv.
We're getting the series Liverpool. We're not getting Bournemouth one.
But then Liverpool, they're dying to get into top 4.
This is it.
They've got
something for their lives.
They're fighting for their lives. So I don't know which Liverpool will turn up. And the Anfield,
we need to take 6 points regardless.
I feel like at Anfield, if Arsenal score first, that crowd will turn on Liverpool.
That would be lovely, really and truly, because when I think of Anfield, I think of the atmosphere. I think of it like I've never played there. You have. It must be a nasty ground to play.
Listen,
really.
This is a beautiful place to play, but also as a Liverpool player. But if you're on the opposition side, it's terrible for you. But I'm saying, if you look at Liverpool midfielder, they don't score goals.
That's where they need to improve the most, in my opinion.
They don't score goals. So if you isolate Mo Salah, Darren Núñez, Darren Núñez, what day it is, the man don't know what time it is, yeah. And Gakpo, just make sure he has a quiet afternoon. You have a good chance to win, because Liverpool will always give you a chance.
Ask them questions defensively. Look, Martinelli up against Trent in behind. He always gives him a tough day. Robertson's alright, but they can't defend. Like you're watching Premier League week in, week out. The amount of individual mistakes I've seen from Trent, from Van Dijk, from Alisson, from everyone, it's a shambolic one.
Did you see the goal for Bournemouth?
Bro, what was Van Dijk doing? And that's why, where do you rank Van Dijk, as well as going on to that, where do you rank Van Dijk out of the best centre-backs ever? Because I think he's a top centre-back, but I don't think he's in that realm with a couple other men, because he's not dying to defend. Tony Adams wouldn't go for that. Certain man wouldn't go for that. He's just nonchalant. He's almost a bit arrogant, I feel, as quality as he is.
You know what, yeah? You literally said it. Is that arrogant to the sense where when they have 1v1, it's almost the same to the guy. Come on then, let's see what you're made of.
Yeah.
You don't do that to people. 1v1, I'm clamping you.
Yeah.
So I would love him to see him play against people like. Anyway, we'll see him on Tuesday when he play against Benzema. Innit?
Yeah. At the Bernabeu.
At the Bernabeu. That's when you realize what day it is. Like,
That's when you see where you are in this world. Yeah, facts.
Listen, I think he's good, but he's fortunate that he hasn't come up with some of the best striker in the Premier League.
And best centre backs, really.
Best centre back.
Like what you were saying earlier, he's kind of come at a time where it's not really messed
There's
like
not
that. There's
much
not
like,
for pulling.
there's
like
not
there's
much
one
of
two
like.
man.
There's not much of guys who are, you can't go to Chelsea play like with like the likes of Drogba.
Exactly. Even the less household names would give him a tough time, really. And make no mistake, I rate Van Dijk. I just feel best ever, generational. Well, technically, it could. It's doing too much, really. Go on. But yeah, bro. Like, so what you're saying? At home, Crystal Palace leads.
Yeah.
Liverpool will see 8 goals.
Listen, in the next 3 games, if we get 7 out of them, I'm happy.
I hear that. What about West Ham away?
Yeah, they speak for
Fighting
them.
For the lads.
Like West Ham, we can go sour this weekend if David Moyes don't get the results, bruv. Is problematic, bro.
And to wrap up the 5 games in the Prem to come, 21st of April, Southampton at home. We drew against them away. We don't travel well to St. Mary's. We do better at the Emirates.
How they got away with that result against Man United, yeah?
Don't know. I don't know.
Like the game that you said, I can see us if Arsenal really turn up. I can see Arsenal being all this team.
I want to win. I can't lie to you. Away from home, we've been amazing, and at home. At home now with 11 games, I don't want to see an L next to us. I don't full points at home. If anything,
but the problem that you have at home, though, everybody knows that they can't go toe to toe with Arsenal. People come back in, they're just
more at home as well.
They're just banked up 2 banks of 4 and just say, you know what, come break us up. Just like Everton, dude. They just come in and say, you know what, we're gonna frustrate you. We're gonna make sure that Newcastle at home. And this is where Arteta need to think. We need to have a player who can actually destroy that rhythm. Yeah, it's all right team coming in and 2 banks of 4, but somehow we're gonna have to find a way of destroying this rhythm.
How would you do that?
That's when Trossard needs to be involved in them type of game, because I think Trossard is a very good player in terms of knowing the situation, understand that okay, they're gonna bank it up, but we know how to get around there. Martin Odegaard will need to be just playing in between their defense and their midfield.
I guess you mean Zinni as well, Zinchenko.
Literally, if they're gonna do that now, we're gonna press them high, we're gonna suffocate them and see what they do with that one.
That's facts. That is facts. What would you? Obviously, that's a tactical point of view. As you mentioned, we need to go to the next level and change these things. Where it comes to the transfer market, obviously, I'm not asking you for names, but what sort of like DNA of a player are you going for then to give us that extra spring in our step for when we face this next year?
But you obviously come the summer, you have to assess the squad, and then you realize, okay, who need to come in, who need to go, and how much money we need to bring into the team to invest in the squad. And you start to look at, because the problem that Arsenal will have though is that because the team is set to play certain ways and certain personnel already playing that position. So if I'm coming in and thinking, am I coming in just to be a second fiddle, or am I coming in to challenge a certain man in that position?
Facts.
That's why you have to look at it thinking, boy, yes, it's great. I'm playing for Arsenal, but Champions League is not every single week. Champions League it's every month or so.
Yeah, maybe every fortnightly at a point. Yeah.
So you're like, this is where Edu needs to start thinking. I need to bring the players who will challenge the current squad in the league as well as in the Champions League.
Facts. So it's a higher caliber of player we're gonna have to try and target. That's probably gonna come with the cash.
Then also that's when you have to be very ruthless in the sense that we're gonna have to let players go. That yes, we would like to keep them, but the way the club is moving now, I don't think you'll be able to.
We have to be cool to be kind. 100%.
There you go.
100%. What did you make of the Fulham game then, man? Obviously, Jesus back, Trossard doing a madness. Collectively, we did all right, man. Good performance, clean sheet as well. Set piece FC. Lovely day. Lovely Sunday.
I expected more from Fulham. I was worried because I was worried that Marcus, the man knows. He's tactically sound. He knows the game inside out.
Mitrovic and them kind of guys.
Them guys there. You know what I'm saying? So surprisingly, Arsenal just went and bust the game from
They look
start to
shook in that
finish.
first half, bro. You know,
Arsenal,
Fulham look shook.
Arsenal just almost like Arsenal playing at home.
Facts.
You know, Trossard. I see why Arsenal start Trossard. I understand now, like because he's when he's at it, when they come at you with the pace coming inside there, twisting in and out. Wow,
he's a nightmare to play against. Really, very intelligent
footballer.
intelligence.
You know, and to add the icing on the cake to bring on Gabriel Jesus, you must like wow.
Finally back, man.
Wow.
Finally back.
You know, so I mean, Arsenal do what everybody expected Arsenal to do, which is to go to Fulham and win. Performance great, which is an adding point for the team and for the confidence. Beside that, that's what you expect Arsenal to do, to go to Fulham and win a game, and they did the job.
End of story. That's that. I'm with you on that. Obviously, you know, some Arsenal fans are doing this thing now. You know, Trossard was amazing, 3 assists. He was off the left yesterday, but he's played centrally. Do you think his peak for Balogun? Well, maybe not so much Balogun right now, but indirectly Balogun. Do you think his peak for Eddie and Nketiah? Because obviously, there's not really any places on the bench. Reece Nelson seems to be the guy now. If Eddie was fit, does he necessarily get into that match day squad, either on the bench or not?
I told you about Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, I like the guy. And they're not wrong with that. If Arsenal win the Premier League, Ralph, get that medal and keep it pushing.
You've done your career to get it. Go get paid now.
There are many people getting the Premier League medal. If you're gonna get there, you get it, and you know what? Cash out. Simple as that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Shake people's hands, because I don't think. But as I said, I prefer to take the guy that is in France right now than over Nketiah.
Yeah.
Like, he's murdering people out there, bro.
16 goals scored against Monaco at the weekend as well. 16 in 26.
He's sending people left, right, and center. So you're like, shake my hand, say, you know, bro, I appreciate that, yeah. But right now, the wave that we're moving right now, yeah. No respect to you, but I just don't think that the market's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? You shake the man hand, move on. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that.
Facts.
I said, he's good, but
for where we're trying to go, and them guys that can nick us some points, it's beyond doing a job. You got to be of that ilk now.
This is where if it was that good, yeah, why is he not starting anymore then? Or has he been burned out? Because he can't get burned out. But he's still very young to get burned out right now. He's not. It wasn't playing the first game of the season, so somehow it can't get burnt out.
He can't be burnt out. He has picked. To be fair, he has got a knock apparently, but yeah, he can't be burnt out.
I've just said he's being dropped, man. Can't be no knock out there, bro. Man, got dropped. Simple.
Do you think Jesus will struggle to get back in the team now with Martinelli and Trossard? Because some saying that I have a job to be devil's advocate, bro. Some are saying that Arteta was very diplomatic. Me and you both know privately Jesus will be back in the team, but he was saying, he needs to earn his place like everyone else. Yada, yada, yada.
No. I think, obviously, after this weekend, International Week would be a blessing in the sky where the guys that are not involved in International Week, give them a chance to work on certain things from now on to the last 10 games of the season and then take it from there. And I think, Gabriel Jesus definitely should start because listen, the guy is a difference between Arsenal winning the league and not winning the league.
Literally. I think people have forgotten really. Like, I big up Arsenal. We've done well to keep going without Jesus and talking about these things. But he is like a new signing. His passion is infectious. You spoke about low blocks. How many times have we sat here and done shows, or you've watched the game, I've watched the game, where like, games like that, that's where we wanted Jesus. He can make something happen. And you spoke about Trossard. Could you imagine him, Trossard, Odegaard, Zinchenko, all of them in the pockets? Low blocks don't stand a chance against us.
You don't, because all those guys give you something different.
Exactly.
All those guys give you something different. If you want to play into feed, Gabriel come in to feed, Trossard run behind. If you want to play behind, Gabriel come in, the Trossard come to feed. So they have a different option how to play the game. And also, one thing you have to highlight about these guys, they are hard workers.
Hard workers, bro. Hard working.
And this is what helps. This is what helps Arsenal. That people said Arsenal defend well. Defensively, Arsenal defend from the front. The guys at the front, that makes it much easier for the guys at the back.
That's our first defender, facts.
So if Gabriel Jesus and all those guys are pushing and they're pushing and they're pushing, it makes my job very easy at the back. So you know what? Because most of the guys are squeezing the defense, we can organize ourselves and make a shot be compactable. That's why Arteta has the message being across there. So you can't, it has to be one of those things where Arsenal go to this game and very positive and with very good ideas. Like we're gonna go out there and try win games.
Facts. What did you make of Sporting last week?
You know what? Sporting is one of those clubs where, you know what? If they catch you on a good day, yeah, you get peppered, innit?
It's long, innit, for you?
Yeah. If they catch you on that day, yeah, bruv, it's a 999 type of business. But Arsenal went there, you got what you got, which is the draw, which is a great result.
If you can't win, don't lose, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think Sporting will come to Emirates and trying to play the way they played at home.
It's more low blocks, and it's kind of what you were talking about earlier.
Sporting will come in, will trying to defend for their life, and then trying to catch Arsenal counter attack. And this is where Arsenal have to start again on the front foot, catch them early, get that first score in the bank, and they say, you know what, let's see what you guys are made
Heads
of.
drop.
Yeah,
you're right. Still, do you start Jesus against them?
This way you have to ask yourself a question: is it worth to risk him?
See, this is why I asked you, because I feel on one hand, obviously he's clearly trained somewhat to be in the squad against Fulham. Arteta said he looked him in the eye and he said he would play. I think it could be a good opportunity. Obviously, from now till Thursday, there's a bit more training. Maybe give him a 45 or 60 minutes, maybe off the bench, and then go into Palace. But then I'm with you with you lot keep your space in the side. Jesus might come off the bench, keep him fresh for Palace. Really,
I would feel like Arsenal go into the game. Keep Jesus off the bench. Arsenal find themselves 2-0 up at halftime. Last 20 minutes, Gabriel, take yourself off. Come on in. Give us a run around. Get the crowd, get it, everybody buzzing for
give everyone a lift in that, yeah.
That for that Palace game and take it from there.
That's kind of what I'm on. I want to go back to the Fulham game and ask you a couple of things in relation to that, yeah. Saliba and Gabriel against Mitrovic. Now, obviously, them two, they knew they was going to be in for a big day against Mitrovic. He's a handful. He doesn't give you an inch. Like you said, me and you and everyone thought Fulham would offer a bit much. But I think while it's a team performance, they shut up shop. They had Mitrovic trying to pull on to Zinchenko and Benjamin White, hoping for a ball over the top and trying to pin the fullbacks, really. So what did you make of them two centre-backs' performances against Mitrovic?
I mean, not everybody come up against Mitrovic, get the best out of him, because he usually cook people up.
It's for fun, yeah. He must be annoying to play against. He's strong, he's everything.
And I think for him to move from being a centre forward, try to go to the left back to target him, shows that he didn't want the smoke to the guys in the middle.
Yeah,
like, know what, those two guys there, man, he knows what they is. So I think like that it was a tactic where there were times where Arsenal double up on him. Because you need to double up on him.
You have to respect him.
But then Arsenal did what they had to do. And this is credit for how, not just the two guys in the middle of the back, but the whole back four, how well they defend.
Yeah.
And you know what, if you notice this year, when Pep played against a team that has a top striker, you barely hear about that top striker having an impact on the game.
That's because true.
What you tend to see is the team so dominant that in possession, the striker don't even have a kick.
He's watching the game like us.
He's watching the game. And that's what happened at Fulham. Arsenal was so dominant that we even forgot that Mitrovic was playing.
Yeah. We've like Mitrovic hype lasted about 20 minutes, if in my opinion. I was like, all right, cool, we're here to win today, really.
There you go. And it's credit to how the team has been set up and how they've been going about the business. And, I said, it's exciting 11 game for Arsenal. Very exciting down for them.
I want to ask you on Robertson of Fulham, because I think them fullbacks had a nightmare. And if I was Robertson's teammate, the left back, Martinelli's goal, I'd be going absolutely mad because he's not challenged for the header. Like Martinelli's not even had to get up. He's just gone like that. What did you make of his performance? He looked like a man, and you must have seen it playing as a professional footballer. When you gaze over to the players next to you of the opposition, they look like they was done before you. They've even had a shower today. They don't want to be here. I got that vibe from him. And I don't care because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I couldn't believe it. Like in Sunday League, and you would see it more because you was a pro footballer. They tell you to make it difficult for the wingers. At least make him think, oh my God, he's going to head into me. He didn't do none of that for Martinelli.
I think with Robinson, he was caught into two mind. He doesn't know if I need to go or do I stay. If I stay, then this guy's going to get ahead of me. If I go, then this guy behind me is open. So that's just how Arsenal be so effective that going forward, they almost distract the opposition way of thinking. And
yeah, you're caught in two minds then.
he didn't know what to do. You know, and defensively, I always say attack the ball. I'm not interested about the men. You have to attack the ball. You have to really attack the ball. So for me, I'll be very disappointed. I would have shown him the video today. I said, listen, Robbo, what's going on here? Like, what were you thinking? The person that is in danger is the guys on the ball, not the guys that are not on the ball.
This is why I asked you, because that's of my belief as well. It's like he's going for the ball. If he thinks for a second you're gonna make that, he's gonna think, oh my god, he's gonna crash into me. It might not be a goal for Arsenal, but he didn't. Martinelli scored that at London Coley. He just didn't even have to jump quickly.
I said he's made it very easy for Arsenal, but I said Arsenal just a better team that they're very good to watch.
Facts. Last question I'll ask you before I let you get out of here, bro. It's completely away from Arsenal. What have you made of this Gary Lineker thing?
Wow.
It's a mad thing, isn't it? That's what I had to ask, because it's that it can't keep coming from me. Like, I just wanted to hear another brother's thoughts on this.
You reckon if you did it, you'd have been in the job, bro?
Nah, I'd have been gone, bro. I'd have been gone. No one would have backed me like that. Like, probably only Uncle Ian. No one would have backed me and turned off their TVs and all these things.
It also shows you, if you build your career, become so powerful, everybody will back you.
Yeah, you can't get finessed. You can't
be finessed, you know what I'm saying? But the only person that I've seen come across and explain the situation so eloquently, John Barnes.
Bro,
he spoke fact. He
spoke fact. Really is right twice a day. John Barnes, I never would have thought you'd have said that.
He spoke fact. When the man talk, you think, you know what? I see what the man's saying. Everybody's beating around the bush. Everybody's, oh no, we cannot, Gary. But what John Barnes said, it was okay for Gary to do the work for BBC in Qatar.
This is it. But you can't condemn the people here doing the exact same thing. But that's how England is as a society, man. I remember, I think it was like Danny Rose and all of them. They played for England's under-21s, and they suffered racial abuse, and everyone in this country and all the media condemned it. The minute it happens back home, it's not the same energy. We're very good at criticizing other people's houses, but not washing our own dishes. It's crazy.
They pick and choose which one is suitable for individual. So I feel like it's one of those things where, listen, match of the day is Gary Lineker. Lineker is match of the day.
That's why they can't draw him out.
So they can't draw him out because they know this man control the maneuver. To play match of the day without no comments. I'm thinking, I'm
hitting their pockets, bro. It's hitting them.
I'm paying a TV license. You're telling me I'm watching that?
Exactly. And it kills it because, like you said, when you think of Gary Lineker, you think of match of the day, or even people that don't know who Gary Lineker is, you think of the guy from the Walkers advert. So it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. And
now, like, he just proved his point right. For him to come back to say, oh, we're gonna come back, we want him back. So which mean, what was the point you actually?
You didn't expect this reaction, and all the other people, because there probably was a bag of people lining up saying, I'll do it instead of Gary. I'll do it. They got shook as well. You ain't got no one to do it. Apparently, like, I think Football 5 Live and all them other side shows, they were getting sided off for a bit as well. So it's like a snowball effect, really. Yeah. Start getting mad for them.
Like I said, it also shows you when you have a powerful presence in the media, you're a force not to reckon with, man.
Nobody can do what the hell you want when you're forced to be reckoned with, like you said. Last question: predictions for the Sporting game in terms of a scoreline, bro.
Arsenal 2-0.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say 4-1. I think this week we're gonna run riot, either between Palace and Sporting. I think we're gonna run riot. In an ideal world, a brace from Gabby Jesus. Yeah, he really cares who the rest score. Just score in it, man. What content you got to come out today or tomorrow or whenever, man? And make sure you're subscribing to him as well, people. Look at the link in the comments. I'm gonna do a live with Jonathan. I'm not sure if you've seen him, the Liverpool fan from Northern Ireland. Yeah, the madman. So we're gonna do a content together just about the Liverpool, because the man gets so passionate and get upset in Liverpool lose. When's that out? We're gonna video tomorrow. And hopefully be out on a Wednesday. So like you can see here, people, I'm subscribed. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. so that you don't miss any of the content. When this video is processing, all you need to do is click on. In fact, right now you can actually just click on the link on the YouTuber title and just click on Fabrice's channel and you'll find it. Obviously, all information will be in the description. Hey, Fabrice, as usual, it's appreciative being here with you. It's always a real one, man. You're in a nice way. You got filter, but don't filter. It's lovely.
Nah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man. You know, Monday's is our new Monday, and he's the way going forward now. So
come on,
keep it going, man. We keep it going.
Come on, and we'll be back next week at some point, people. But
No,
for you,
my guy.
Come on, make sure you subscribe to Fabrice. Make sure you're following him on Twitter, on Instagram, and all of that. Make sure you all stay blessed and safe. But for now, we're out, folks. One love, everyone. Man.
Appreciate it, man.
Come on.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like.